We are live. And today, this is actually a landmark episode, yeah? This is a landmark episode for those watching, for those listening to us on the podcast, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. This is our 10th episode. This is plus 10. So, what do you make of it? Plus 10.
Good milestone. 10 is a lucky number to some people.
Did you think we'd make it to 10 episodes?
Of course, yeah.
10 episodes of the year. Now, straight into the introductions, yeah? I'm your boy Ace, the trouble man himself. Smooth as ice, twice as nice. Never had a bad day in my life. And today, tunafanya akaduet hapa with my co-host.
It's done representing the team that got wings. I'm not talking about the Aston Martins. It's the team that just got the 9th win. Oh. Let's go, boy. I told you I'm working on my intro.
Hey, okay, listen, I have to give it up to you. He's been listening to a lot of Eminem, yeah? Hey, I have to give it to you. So, fresh off the Austrian GP, Red Bull's home race.
Yes, sir.
Much to discuss. Tuanze wapi? Where do you want us to start?
Hey, man, there's a lot to talk about. Let's get into driver, team, and melon of the day.
Okay, driver of the day. Nah. Not driver of the day. Let's talk about what was actually happening. What happened? Because, first of all, for the guys who haven't watched the Austrian GP, aka
the Limits GP.
The Track Limits GP. The Track Limits GP. By Track Limits GP, we are talking about the number of penalties given.
It was
on
crazy.
That GP. It was crazy.
Yeah.
They had so many penalties. In fact, after the race, before the final classification, they had to award more penalties. And you gave me an absurd number. What was the number?
Yeah, the number of track limit infringements just on Sunday, it was north of 1,200.
Bruh.
So the stewards had to look at 1,200 plus cases.
1,200.
Just track limits, man.
1,200
When
cases.
it rains,
it pours,
my dude.
When it rains, it pours. And there's somebody who was sneaking away with those infringements, yeah? There was someone who was sneaking away with those infringements.
Who's
and
that?
He's a French dude. He's a French dude, and he drives for Alpine.
Pierre Gasly?
No.
Esteban Ocon.
Esteban Ocon had received 0 penalties during the race, yeah?
Yep.
But once the stewards decided to review that thing, Mandem had like 30 seconds worth of penalties.
Bro had 30. 10 seconds, 5 seconds, 10 seconds, and then the last 5 seconds.
And during the race, the guy was nowhere to be seen when guys were big giving penalties. Because Hamilton was getting penalties left, right, and center.
Mm-hmm.
Carlos Sainz, as usual. Yeah, anaonewa, by the way. Carlos Sainz, anaonewa.
No, bro.
Sainz
you're the same stuff that the cult guys are smoking.
Nah,
because also the cult guys are like, hey, our man, Mr. Lewis Hamilton.
No, I have to defend Kapoor Singh because, listen.
Wait. Who?
Kapoor Singh.
Who's Kapoor Singh?
Kapoor Singh is Carlos Sainz, man. That guy is Indian. There's no way that guy is Spanish.
No. Tell them to wait for me.
There's no way that guy is Spanish, my guy. There's absolutely no way. Look at him. Guys, just look at him.
Bro,
just go look at him.
We'll get cancelled.
This is a picture of
cancelled.
Carlos Sainz. This is a picture of Carlos Sainz.
We'll get cancelled, my dude.
We won't get cancelled.
And, this is even worse because it's coming from a Tifosi, man.
Nah, it's not a diss. It's actually, it's not a diss. It's an observation.
Yeah. Well, regardless of the penalty, Kapoor/Carlos had a good race.
Yeah, he did. He did
on Sunday.
Can't lie about that. And the infringements kind of costed him a podium.
Facts.
Kind of costed him a podium because minus the penalties he served, it's pretty straightforward. We'd be having a double Ferrari podium.
Nope.
You know why?
Why?
Because he did serve like 5 seconds stop and go penalty at the pits. So, look, that 5 seconds, because when he pitted and he served his 5 seconds, the total time he used up on the pits was like 9 seconds, yeah?
But bro, the penalties are still part of racing.
No, just listen.
I'm saying your point will have made sense if we are talking after the provisional classifications.
I'm just saying.
That's after the checkered flag.
Minus the penalties.
If you didn't get any penalty after that, then maybe.
minus the penalties, Carlos is getting that place in the podium.
Just tell Carlos to drive within the track limits. Man.
Yeah. He has had a lot of penalties this year, by the way. He has had a lot of penalties.
Yeah.
And okay.
But on the bright side, he's looking really good this time of the year compared to Charles.
Is he looking better than Charles, or he's looking good compared to Charles?
This is my opinion.
Yeah.
I think he's better than Charles.
Hey. Somebody with a paper. What?
Yeah, I think Carlos is actually better than Charles.
Bruh, no.
This time of the year.
Nah, let me get this straight. Carlos is better than Charles, or Carlos is on better form than Charles?
Better form.
Better form?
Yeah.
That's arguable. Because Charles has been struggling the past few races. But he seems to have found his feet. And yeah.
Yeah, he's actually making a comeback. Because he started, I think on, is it P7 or P8 somewhere in the Drivers' Championship. He started with George. Yeah. Well, it's first of all, Charles, you're not even supposed to be down there, man.
Tied with?
Mr. O'Blimey.
Mr. O'Blimey.
Oh, sugar. Mr. George Russell himself. So it will be interesting to see where Charles finally ends up at the end of the year. Yeah, now that Ferrari finally, you guys have got your shit in order.
Yeah, we have. And I did tell you guys about it. I told you Fred Vasseur will actually, come through. Because he did say he doesn't know anything about the car. Coming into the new season, he did say he knows nothing about the car. The previous regime worked on the car. Not that he's blaming the previous regime.
Binotto didn't leave some handover notes somewhere.
Yeah, that's what he's been working with.
Yeah.
And by the guys who are slandering Binotto, why are you guys slandering Binotto? Binotto made Schumacher back-to-back champion. In the 2000s, in the 2000, 2001, 2002, when Schumacher was winning, Binotto was actually in charge of Schumacher's car. He was the guy making sure the V6, was it the V6 at the time? Yeah, he was the guy making sure the V6 was, performing the way it used to perform on track. Wakiona Barrichello.
Hey, no, that time, that was the V8.
V8, yeah.
The V8,
the V8 ilishalini. Yeah, it is the V8 because the V6 came in with the Alonso rise.
Yes.
And then yeah.
As in we need to dedicate by the ACA section where we need to talk about team principles. And we also have to talk about Mattia Binotto.
We will talk about it.
Because what you guys did to him.
We didn't do anything to him. I honestly, genuinely do believe Mattia Binotto resigned on his own accord. He was just tired of the pressure and everything and taking all the blame. And he just decided to, resign. And in fact, the FIA president currently, Domenicali, he was once a team principal.
The Formula One.
Yeah.
Formula One principal?
Yeah, the Formula One principal.
No, Formula One president.
The
CEO.
Principal. Bruh, you have your shit not in order. What's going on? You have your shit not in order.
Weather, man.
It's the weather. It's cool. Man,
I'm not on Inters, man. I'm on Slicks.
Be careful. You're doing the old blimey moment, yeah?
Yeah.
So anyway, Domenicali was also a team principal on the grid, and he was the team principal to Ferrari. And so I know he's been on the record saying Mattia is a good principal, and I understand what's going on at Ferrari because, again, it's messy. What was happening at the beginning of this year was reminiscent of what was happening at 2014, 2012 and 2014, both them 2 years, when Fernando Alonso was actually, dragging the team on his back, and the officials don't know what to do, and there was drama in behind closed doors and everything. So that's exactly what's happening. And I think Mattia was a scapegoat to most guys who didn't really know Ferrari as an institution.
So do you think Fred is probably getting the benefit of the doubt from Mattia's work? Because if you look at when Ferrari started talking about bringing a significant upgrade and how long it usually takes for teams to develop a huge update, it usually takes them months. So probably Ferrari started working on this thing maybe sometime last year on these two problems. Do you think maybe Fred is just... I don't use the example of our local government here.
I think Fred is the calm, collected guy who knows what he's trying to do and isn't really bothered by what the public think. He isn't really swayed by public opinion. And I think his experiences at Alfa Romeo being a less challenging team, so he's used to disappointment. I know this might sound bad. He's used to disappointment, so he knows how to handle it. Yeah, and he knows how to, I don't want to say break hearts. He knows how to keep everybody in check. Because Fred is not the guy who will actually shout at you, scream at you at the paddocks or anything like that. Fred is the guy who will actually keep his house in order. He's the guy who will make sure his house is clean. And behind the scenes, he'll take care of what needs to be taken care of. He's not afraid to break some hearts. He's like, okay, you're not doing your job. Okay, we need someone else. That's why you've been seeing a lot of outgoings at Ferrari. A lot of outgoings, guys going to... By the way, Red Bull have signed one of our engineers.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, so, McLaren also signed one of our Aero guys. Mercedes also signed someone. So, Fred was like,
guys,
hey,
listen. People are moving left, right, and center.
Yeah, you're like, hey, listen, you're not doing what you're supposed to do. Step. You feel me?
Vamos.
How
do you say disappear in Italian?
I don't know.
Vamos.
I'm not really sure.
But back to the Austrian GP. So it was a sprint weekend.
Yeah.
What did you make of it?
The Red Bull Ring, one of the shortest tracks in the F1 calendar by the way this year. One of the shortest tracks. And the sprint was actually, how do I put it? Was actually a showcase of Max and Checo's strengths. Because those guys literally ate up the whole grid.
I'm surprised you're giving us flowers today, man.
No, I'm not giving you guys flowers. It was your home GP. You had to turn up.
So
you had to turn up. Okay. And do you know, by the way, Lewis said the sprint doesn't mean anything and it got cut out from the official Sky Sports footage.
No.
Yeah. Bro, I'm dropping that link. I'm dropping that video.
Is this before or after the sprint race?
After the sprint race. Like he was getting interviewed and he was like, yeah, but the sprint doesn't mean anything.
And he didn't get any.
No, it was cut out from the official broadcast.
Any backlash?
Come on, who?
Because you see, it's
no wait, who? Backlash?
Hamilton.
Who? Backlash?
Yeah, and this is
who?
And this is where I'm talking.
Who?
And this is where I want to point out the double standards when it comes to I think any sports. When one Mr. Max Verstappen, expressed his own opinion on these extra activities that are happening, that are deterring him or that are not exciting him. From what brought, as in regards
the purpose
to
of the sport.
Yeah, the purpose of the sport and what brought him into the sport. And he was like, hey, if we just continue these sprint weekends, these sprint races and other two activities, I don't see myself being here for long.
Facts.
And guys went ham on him. Not ham for Hamilton.
I think Verstappen is the bad. No, he is the de facto bad guy of the grid. Like guys love to hate Verstappen.
Oh, facts.
Guys love to hate him, and he isn't really a bad guy. He just speaks his mind. He is a real one. I'll come on record saying Max Verstappen is a real one. He just says it how it is. Like when they were having it wasn't really a back and forth. When he responded to Hamilton's comments of, the FIA should actually put, Red Bull in check. They should actually, control how they develop their car and all that. They shouldn't start development early. They should put a time cap on when development for the next year's car should start.
Yep.
And Max, he just kept it simple and plain. It was a ban on Hamilton's side, yes, but, he kept it simple and plain and he just said, look, when they were winning, nobody was talking about that. When they were winning, because listen, Mercedes won the Constructors' Championship for 8 years in a row. Do you know what 8 years in a row means? 8 years in a row.
Crazy.
Like that's from 2014 to 2021.
And actually, this is even before they became Mercedes.
Yeah.
It actually started with Braun GP.
Yeah.
They started a year early.
Yeah. So, you are right with the double standards thing. And
it is what it is, man.
It wasn't a good look for the sport when he said it doesn't really matter because there was a purpose for it being added. There was a purpose for it, and it wasn't. It wasn't
money.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Money. And plus, also to the other teams, the guys in the middle field and the guys at the bottom, it means something to them.
Yeah, it's an opportunity for them to get points.
Yeah, because they can throw everything
At the sprint.
at the sprint race.
Yeah. Because listen, if you get, because the sprint and the main race are totally detached.
Yep.
Yeah. So the qualification for the sprint
Yep.
is totally different from
Yep.
the qualification for
Yep.
the main race. So listen, if you decide, look, our car, we know we aren't gonna compete with the big boys come Sunday, and we have an opportunity to throw everything to get those 4 points, whatever, at the sprint race. Listen, that could actually be a season changer for those small teams.
Yep.
That could be the difference between the big bucks and the little bucks.
Yep.
And Formula One is a money controlled. It's a pool of money.
Yep.
that allows you to talk and everything in between.
Yep.
And investments are important.
Hey. Speaking of investments,
Yeah.
I think it was late last week. Alpine recently got some new cash flow.
A boost to the books.
Yeah, around $200 million.
Yeah, from a trio.
Yeah, I only know one person. He's the actor from Deadpool. I think
Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds,
and some other two guys.
The guy has been investing in sports lately. Yeah,
but that's really good to see. That a team like Alpine, who are backed by Alpine itself,
yeah,
and there is Renault somewhere there in the picture.
yeah.
But someone is still coming in and pumping in some $200 million USD.
For someone,
it's good for the team and also good for the sport.
For someone to actually pump that kind of money, it means they have faith
Facts.
in your project,
Facts.
in whatever you're trying to achieve in your goals.
Yep.
And that's a good look for Alpine.
Yep.
Because now when the driver thing starts again, when the transfer window opens, and
I didn't see that coming.
yeah, I mean, they can attract new competent drivers.
So with this cash, who do you think Alpine is going to sign?
I don't think they're going to sign anyone because their driver lineup looks solid.
Really?
They have Pierre Gasly and Esteban Ocon. Those are two competent drivers.
But Alpine actually wants to get into the fight with the top dogs.
Yeah.
So they need to sign a top dog.
Okay, listen. This is how I'm looking at it. Yeah?
Who do you think is in the market?
I'm not seeing anyone in the market. And they're definitely not taking Ricardo back.
Hamilton.
They're not. That cannot work. That cannot
work. Mercedes and Hamilton, they're yet to announce. Who? Kimi. No, Kimi is somewhere in NASCAR having a drink and having a blast.
Kimi is living his best life.
Yeah.
Leave Kimi out of it.
Bro, Hamilton and Mercedes, they're yet to announce Hamilton's new contract.
And Leclerc signed his contract.
Oh, he did?
Did he? Or it's on the table or something like that. I think if it's not signed, it's about to be signed. Because he did talk, I was reading from tifosi.com, and the contract is already on the table. And it's just a matter of time before he signs it. Because he talked about it and he said there was no other team for me. It's always been Ferrari. So I know there is a Leclerc extension in the works if it's not yet signed.
Well, in hindsight, I'd actually say like a month ago, before these significant upgrades and updates, I was actually thinking Charles probably was looking outside.
Nah.
But now that Ferrari looks like you guys finally have sorted out the issues that you had.
Yeah.
And the drivers are more confident. I wouldn't be surprised if Carlos and Charles decided to extend their stay at Ferrari.
I don't know about Carlos, but I know Charles.
Hey,
Charles is safe. I don't know about Carlos.
I don't think there's a seat for Carlos at the moment.
Bruh, if Carlos is on the market, Alpine are going to get him. You're asking who would Alpine get?
Yeah.
If Carlos is on the market, Esteban Ocon is getting the boot.
Bro, who wouldn't want to drive for Ferrari, man?
Now listen, this is all okay. I don't want to bring this back. I don't want to bring this back to this. I don't want to go back to this. But the only person who can deceit Carlos Sainz at Ferrari is Hamilton. The only way Ferrari are letting Carlos leave is if they are sure they are going to get Hamilton.
Hey, bro, you're still on this Hamilton thing.
No, it's not about being on it. Listen, you guys. You'll come back to this, the way I told them about the side pods. Yeah?
Is that the reason why
you remember when I told them about the side
today?
pods? Nah, listen. You remember when I told them about the side pods and they weren't listening? Guys were like, even in the spaces, we like host spaces on Twitter. I was telling them, look, the side pods is the issue. And the guys were like, nah. They brought the side pods. Now things are looking up for them. And I'm saying again, if Hamilton needs to leave Mercedes at some point, The only possible place he could go is Ferrari. And if Ferrari were to let go of Carlos Sainz currently, it's only because they know they're getting Hamilton. That's how it is. Take it anywhere, take it to the bank. That's how it is. You can hate me for it, you can love me for it, but I'm not pumping false air. I'm not, it's true. That's how it is.
Hey, I don't know.
But listen, honestly speaking, I really don't. Okay, this may come out off. I really don't want Hamilton at Ferrari. We really don't need that drama saga, that driver saga. We just need a stable lineup and the car to be worked on.
Hey, bro, I'm afraid of being cancelled.
So yeah. Anyway, speaking of cars, McLaren and updates.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, McLaren had a strong showing at Austria.
Oh, speak on it, man.
Yeah, and Lando Norris looked fast.
Yeah.
Looked fast. And that was their first major upgrade, yeah?
Yeah. So it's the first of three.
The first of three.
Yeah. So they'll be introducing 25%. Sorry, so it's the first of three. So this first one,
Yeah.
they introduced 50% of the aero update at the Austrian GP. And it was only Lando's car that had the upgrade.
Explains why Piastri was struggling at the back.
Yeah. So Piastri will get the 50 and I think plus the 25% that's remaining. So the next 25% at Silverstone, which is this weekend. Then the remaining 25, both of them will get it at the Hungarian GP, at the Hungaroring GP.
That sounds threatening. That
Bro,
sounds like a threat that sounds like a threat to Aston Martin,
Yeah.
Mercedes.
Yeah.
Not Ferrari
Hey,
at the
bro.
moment. But yeah,
Okay.
not Ferrari.
Actually, right now, looking at how guys have been performing since Barcelona,
Yeah.
I'd say Ferrari is P2. They have the second best car.
Yeah, we do have the second best car. And so that's a threat to Aston Martin
Yeah. And Mercedes.
and Mercedes.
Yeah.
And I was reading some tweets, and Mercedes are on W14C.
Allah?
When did they get to W14C? They
What
had
happened to W14B?
They had W14B, and now we are W14C. What's going on?
It's still the L14 underneath.
Bro, what's going on? I don't know what's going on. I was like reading, and I'm like, what?
Yeah. They didn't have a good showing at the Austrian GP.
Yeah. Nah.
No, I don't think so. Well, at Monaco and also at Barcelona.
The cameraman is asking if it's a case of too
many.
many upgrades at a go. Nah, it's not a case of that.
Nah.
It's a case of them trying to be cleverer than the system,
Hey, bro.
and they got caught,
You're not afraid of...
and they are left behind, and they were left behind, and now they're catching up to the rest of the grid, and now they're trying to whine and complain, and it's not going to work out. So listen, just, bury your heads in the books, and, get that car working.
Yeah.
But they have a good car. I won't lie. They have a good car. They have a good driver lineup. So listen, remember Toto telling Lewis, just drive the car. I know it's bad.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn.
What did you think of that statement or that message from Toto to Hamilton, the 7-time world champion?
8. Yeah. I thought Hamilton is actually a team player.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually, how do I put it? I was actually giving Hamilton more respect.
Mm-hmm.
Over the course of from 2021 to now, Hamilton has been proving to me why he's such a classy dude and a good driver and a champion at that. Because whatever has been happening to Hamilton, he's never been out there complaining. He's never been whining on the team radio or anything. He's just been simple, calm, collected, doing his thing. And it takes a man and more to have that character. Like, I envy that character. I won't lie. I envy that. And he is a really good role model to anyone who's trying to get to the top. Adversities will always occur and anything.
Yep.
And he is handling his adversities graciously. Like, for him to be told that, bro, if they told me that, I'll just crash the car. What do you mean just drive it? Just drive the car loose. What do you mean just drive the car? We know it's bad.
I think what we saw there, not just from Toto but also from Lewis, was his limits.
Yeah.
I know it's the track limits GP,
Yeah.
but also drivers were being pushed. And Hamilton kept on complaining that, hey man, this car, I keep on
Sliding.
and
His
sliding
back end,
and
his back end
steering
was
all
his
over
back
the
end
place.
yeah.
And he wasn't comfortable with that. He wasn't confident even in the car itself. And even during the race, you could actually see that.
Facts.
Yeah.
And
even
we did get a glimpse of why there is a number 1 driver and a number 2 driver, because George was silent the whole race. George was nowhere to be seen. George had nothing. He wasn't getting penalties. He wasn't on the radio asking for time lapse. I was like, bro.
But George, George
Bro,
last
where
year.
is the hunger?
But
like,
George,
you remember when he wanted the seat? He was crashing with anybody in his way.
Yep.
But right now, when things are tough, he's like, oh, bro.
But bro, last year, I think George really enjoyed the W13. Well, it wasn't the best of cars, but he really enjoyed driving because there's that excitement where you're coming from a bottom team.
That's the thing.
Into a top
That's
team.
The thing.
You don't want to complain. You just want to enjoy the moment fast, and as in you're in a superior car.
It's like
compared to where you are
when you are driving. Sitaki kuita gari yoyote tena mtu anikujie na makesi. But it's like when you're driving just a regular car, then you get like a S class or something, ama a BMW M car or something. Like you'll feel it. Like ushaiendesha these small cars sometimes hapa tuseme Demio hivi nini.
No, just say it. You come from a Demio, then you get into a 5 Series.
Then
you're
into
excited,
a 5 series.
Yeah.
You're like,
but you have plastic all over the place, all over the dash.
Yeah, you're like, what's
but
this?
Damn, yeah.
Ukikanyaga mafuta usikiki. You actually feel it.
Yeah.
You actually feel the movement and everything. But yeah, so I mean, look.
And someone who's been driving later like a 5 Series all the time, they actually know.
They actually know the limits.
Yeah,
how
the
it's
limits
supposed to operate.
Yeah. So I think George last year was in that situation.
Yeah.
And
he was on a honeymoon.
Yeah, and I think after the W14, now the 14B, now with the side pods, George has been nowhere.
I mean, there is one time he was on some Fast and Furious type shit with his car smoking at the back, flames.
Ghost Rider.
Yeah, alikuwa ameamua
at the Australian GP.
Yeah, alikuwa ameamua ni Vin Diesel hiyo day.
Blimey, my guts are all over the place.
Bro. That's the last time I saw of George, because I think he was actually in the podium places on that race or leading the race.
Yeah, he was. Yeah,
he was leading the race. What's that? Canada?
Australia.
Yeah, that's the last time I heard of George. And
now
where is George?
Hey man.
Question to you guys: where is George?
Oh, sugar.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
It's crazy. So now we get into the meat of it. Yeah, who was your driver of the day?
My driver of the day, Checo. And that's why today I have my Red Bull.
You always have some Red Bull gear
on weekends where it's Red Bull 1-2, we have 2 cars in the podium.
You always have Red Bull gear on. Come on, guys, look at the videos. Go look at the videos. He always has some Red Bull merch on. Yeah, huh?
But that's because you usually have Max religiously there in the podium. But my driver of the day, Checo. I know it's been his story of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Struggling in qualifying, then fighting his way back up.
Yeah.
At the top. But I honestly think Checo, despite his illness, he wasn't feeling good this weekend.
On Friday, he wasn't.
He had a fever, plus I don't know what was going on in him. But on Friday, solid. He looked good. Mm-hmm. Apart from him messing up in quali, as usual, Checo man.
There were talks of Daniel Ricciardo,
no,
sniffing up his seat.
No,
sniffing up his
Never.
seat. There were reports
of
Daniel Ricciardo sniffing up his seat.
It can't happen. Unless maybe in the simulator. You see in F1 22 or F1 23 or the fun games, you can choose the driver. Maybe Ricciardo in the simulator is choosing Sergio Perez.
Nah, that's a diss. Now let me put it into context. Let me put it into context.
But he's
guys
nowhere close to.
Because listen, we are trying to get more people into the sport. Yeah, that's the purpose of this show, this podcast, and what we do.
Yeah.
That's the purpose of what we do, why we do it. Why we do what we do. So what he's saying is, if you guys play FIFA out there, imagine a player who's always benched. So when you get to the video game, the position you're supposed to be playing, when that player is playing that video game, he's actually subbing himself in. Tuseme kama Ronaldo was being benched at United, na maybe who was playing up front, Rashford was playing up front, yeah, unapata Ronaldo akicheza FIFA anaenda anatoa Rashford hapo anaweka Ronaldo hapo anajiweka hapo ndani ndio acheze, yeah. No slander to the goat, by the way, he is my goat. So anyway, that's bad of you.
That's the closest Ricardo will ever get to sitting
cool.
in a Red Bull.
That's not cool. That's not cool. You have some issues with Ricardo, yeah?
Hey.
You have some issues with Ricardo.
Mine is personal.
Nah, yeah, yours is personal. You did say...
Hey. I don't want to air my stuff here.
Yeah.
No way. Hey, bro. Hey. But
Okay, cool.
Checo is my driver of the day.
Yeah, man, yeah. And,
so on Friday, poor quality. He was actually out in Q2. His lap time got deleted, and he was up there. Yeah, so his lap time got deleted.
Yeah.
On Friday, he got dropped to P15. So that means on Sunday he had to start from P15. Then on come Saturday, sprint shootout. That's the sprint race quali. He qualied P2, which was really good. It's not a shocker compared, because we could see he had pace on Friday.
Yeah.
So expecting a bang of a race on Saturday. Then we all know what happened on Saturday, man. Him and Max.
Yeah, dominating the grid.
Heart in mouth moment for me.
But listen, Sainz was up there. Sainz was up there with him.
Yeah.
Sainz was up there with him.
Actually,
don't act like Sainz wasn't up there with him.
Yeah, it's true. And that's the worrying bit for me. If Checo and Max start fighting, who will pick the pieces?
The Ferrari next.
Now it's Ferrari.
The Ferrari just behind you.
Yeah, so if Checo and Max...
You remember you guys dissing me at hey, this is a P4 and P5 and you're so hyped like this. And I was like, no, I'm seeing what's to come. I'm just seeing what's to come, yeah? I'm super hyped. I'm seeing what's to come.
Bro, so I just gave you guys your flowers. I said...
No!
I said... Bro, so I just
guys,
said the SF23
go watch the previous episode. These guys were slandering me. These guys were like, now imagine this is a P4 and P5 and this guy is so happy. It's not even a podium. And I was like, yo...
Yeah, if it happens,
because I can see what's coming. Ferrari guys can see what's coming. Yeah, the Ferrari had like tire deg issues. Yeah, they had unreliable systems. You remember when when Leclerc DNF'd? When was it? Early in the season.
It actually even started with Charles DNFing.
Leclerc, early in the season.
Yeah.
So like tire deg issues, the DNFs, signs unreliable at times. Then all of a sudden, we are turning face.
Ferrari is back, man.
Like, hey, listen. The light at the end of the tunnel is here. The light at the end of I can see the light. I can see the light. Yeah. Stormy.
No. We're not going to sing Stormy.
Hey, Mr. Producer, yeah, that's dope. That's a dope request. Cue it. Hey Siri, cue it. Yeah.
Yeah, so if Checo and Max fight, Ferrari will pick the pieces, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But anyway, so Saturday, heart in mouth moment for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what Checo was doing. But hey, at the end of the day, both of them didn't DNF.
I just saw radio complaints.
It was just racing at the end of the day.
Yeah. Aggressive racing.
And that's the action that we live for.
Bro, that's why we watch the sport in the first place.
To see aggressive racing, not that
listen,
move
high octane racing, whatever, everything. That's what we are here for.
Yep.
We're petrol heads at the end of the story. Don't you ever forget that.
Yep.
We that's what we do. Like aggressive revving, aggressive racing. We don't care about your racing line. Okay, we do a little bit, but we don't care about it. Like for real.
You're becoming a Max now.
I've always been a Max deep down. You know that, man.
Then come Sunday, was now Checo qualified P15.
Yeah.
He was able to get into the podium to P3. So yeah, that's Checo, my driver of the day.
Well,
what about you, man?
For me, my driver of the day was Carlos Sainz. Carlos Sainz, not my driver of the day, my driver of the weekend. He was my driver of the weekend. Hey, look, I want to say Charles, Lord Percival had a good showing this weekend, and he actually got us second place. But the showing Carlos had this weekend at the sprint, because at the sprint, I think Charles was like 8th. Charles was nowhere to be seen at the sprints. But Sainz was there. He was in the picture. On Sunday, look, I know he did commit the offenses and everything, but minus those penalties, Sainz is actually on the podium. And I'm really impressed. I've actually been impressed a lot by Sainz this past year. I never used to rate him like that, but he is a dope driver. He's totally underrated. He's totally slept on. He is a top 5 grid driver. Like, confidently, I can say that.
Facts.
He's a top 5 grid, and there are 20 drivers on that grid. So
Facts. But bro,
he is a top 5 driver.
But bro, on Sunday, Carlos couldn't pass Charles. How?
Yeah, it's a Ferrari management thing. Remember when he was
No, I don't think so.
Nah, he was told. You don't remember him being told on the radio, stick to the plan, don't attack.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was told on the radio, stick to the plan.
I must have
don't
missed
attack.
that. But it was really weird.
Yeah, it was. And it really helped Charles' cause. And look, now that we're here, we know everything that has transpired. It was actually the better call. Because imagine he goes, he overtakes Charles, yeah? He's now in cruise control or whatever. Charles is left fighting off Checo because the fighting between Checo and Sainz gave Charles time to pull away.
Yeah.
So Charles maybe is fighting with Checo, yeah? And he's not strong enough to keep Checo at bay because, Checo is in a Red Bull and Red Bull is the fastest car on the grid. So then Sainz gets the podium finish, yeah? Then the penalty starts streaming in.
But you see...
Think about it.
Yeah, okay. But how you evaluate that a strategy has worked is at the end of the race.
Yeah.
You look at the positions.
Yeah.
Then you look at what decisions did we make.
Yeah.
In which conditions or in which circumstances. Then you can say that this strategy worked or this strategy didn't work. Ferrari saying or telling Carlos not to attack Charles or not to overtake Charles, I think that's really weird because Carlos was stuck behind Charles for a good number of laps.
Yeah.
And Carlos had
better lap times.
DRS.
And had better lap times.
Why couldn't he make the pass?
I know. And look, listen, I'm not trying to advocate for Charles or the decisions made by the team, but the reasons given by Fred at the post-race conference, he was like, look, we were in a good position. We were not trying to have them battle each other. The tires were good. Everything was working out. And we just needed the solid positions. Again, what happened the previous race week?
Yep.
It's
Same
what
thing.
happened. And they're not trying to let their drivers fight and everything. But Carlos truly believes, and you can see in his anger, in the hunger in his eyes and everything, he truly believes he is on better form than Charles currently.
Yeah.
He is on better form, and he thinks he should be backed. He thinks the role he is playing, Charles should play it. Yeah, he does believe if it's defending Charles from the attackers from behind, Charles can play that role for me. That's what he genuinely believes.
But do you think Charles is really good at playing defense?
Not like Carlos, no. Mr. Smooth operator. Bro, did you see the battle he had with Checo?
Yeah. Oh, DRS chicken.
Yeah. Did you see the battle he had with bro? Yeah. I didn't think Carlos had it in him like that. I didn't think he had it in him like that.
Well, even just leave racing.
Yeah.
If you see how Carlos is he's genuine when it comes to confrontation.
Yeah.
He'll let you know how he feels.
Yeah.
I obviously knew that Carlos was someone who you can't tell him to do A and then he'll do it. He's not a pushover or a rollover. Look at how he's always questioning Ferrari's strategies.
Yeah.
You're telling me to box right now, my tires are still good. You're telling me to come in for, let's say, mediums.
Yeah.
No, I think I have good pace on hards, etc.
Yeah.
So that is just an indication that when it comes to the track,
I'd really
you just can't tell him where Ebu Kagari can do.
Facts. And he has earned his position at Ferrari. He has earned, and I'm not calling him a number 2 driver because, like I said, there is no number 1 driver at Ferrari. He's not the number 2.
He's number
yes,
2.
The team leans on Charles a little
Stop
because, Charles' contract is actually more lucrative. But there is no number 1 driver. And I believe Carlos has earned his position at Ferrari. He deserves to be a Ferrari driver.
I agree.
And I couldn't ask for anyone better right now.
I agree.
Currently. And that's why he's my driver of the day.
Yeah.
So
and he was being intimidated by Checo.
Yeah, he did say he's trying to intimidate me. He doesn't know. He doesn't know I'm a Spanish
chicken.
No.
He's chicken.
He was about to call his sicarios, bro. He was about to call his sicarios.
Bro, but Checo is from Mexico, bro.
I don't
They have
care.
the original Sicarios.
Listen, we have the Italian mafia. So you call whoever you're trying to call from Mexico.
Yeah. Team of the day.
Team of the day.
You go first.
Had to be Red Bull. Nah, no, I'm not
No.
going to give it to Red Bull.
Wait,
I'll give it to McLaren.
There's no flashback.
I'll give it to McLaren.
There's no
because
replay here.
McLaren's updates proved successful.
Facts.
I'll give it to McLaren because of the updates they produced, or they introduced, not produced. The updates they introduced and how well the car coped. Because Lando had a strong finish. He finished 5th.
Yep. And he got promoted.
And he got promoted after the penalties. Yep. So, I mean, and he didn't have any infringements in regards to track limits. Yeah. Oh, for the viewers wondering what track limits are, I think it's about time we explain. We've mentioned it across the episode. So track limits are when you look at the car. I mean, when you look at the truck, just after the curbs, there is like a white line. Now that white line is called the track limit. So you get penalized. An infringement of the track limit is when you get penalized for when you're driving past it and all 4 tires of the car are past the white line. So you're not supposed to do that. That's the infringement. Now, why that thing is there is so that, they can control the track and the racing and everything, because there is something called a racing line in racing. Now, there are some drivers who use the track limit for their advantage, because remember, it's all about the entry point and the exit. So there are some guys who use the curbs to their advantage, so that's why the track limit is really important in F1.
Do you think if turn 10 and turn 9 the Austrian GP,
the fabled turn 10,
do you think if it had a gravel trap or a wall, do you think we'd have
it'd be crazy. It'd be crazy.
such a high number of infringements?
It'd be crazy. Now guys will be scared. Guys will be breaking earlier. Guys will be breaking earlier.
Because the F1 drivers are said to be the best drivers in the world, but they are also very cheeky.
Yeah.
You give them an inch, they will take a mile. They will always push the limit to get a 10.
That's
100.
That's why turn 9, turn 10 is actually a cheeky one, because listen, nothing is over there, yeah? And they have an opportunity to get the maximum out of their car with the entry and the exit.
Yep.
They are loose on their brakes at that turn. They are very loose on their brakes. They're just like, they're passing. Now when they're passing, the car skids and they're testing the limits of the car. Like Alonso was actually missing the track limit by like a third of his final tire. Like if you were watching the whole race, Alonso was precision. But guys like Hamilton, the car was skidding around. The back end was actually failing him. He's trying to push it to the limit, but the back end is failing him, and all the 4 tires are out. And
Lando the snitch, man.
Yeah, Lando's like, that's the third time. That's the third time.
Yeah. In fact,
that's the third time.
There's a time his radio engineer or his race engineer was like, hey, Lando, please report or tell us if Hamilton again exceeds the track limit.
Ndio tumseme.
And Lando was like, hey, he's been exceeding this thing the past few laps. I even stopped reporting. Like he's been all over the place.
And it's really funny coming from McLaren, knowing that that's Hamilton's favorite team.
Yeah.
And
both
he's
of them
a Ferrari fan, of course.
Both of them are English.
Yeah, both of them are English. That's where he won his first title.
Points, man.
That's where he won his first title. But
Points, man.
Yeah.
Points. Snitches get stitches, man.
Nah, not on the racetrack. Not on the racetrack. Come on, we've seen Horner go to the FIA with bags of paper, and he's like, unaonanga venye in Kenya. Here in Kenya, the way politics is really funny. After elections, the way the NASA guys were going with boxes of evidence. That's how Christian Horner, their team principal, goes to complain to FIA offices. And don't say it's a lie, because it's true.
Bro,
that's what happens.
We all know someone who's using Mattia Binotto. We won't mention who, because they'll come for us, man.
Come on, man. But anyway, that's my team of the day. Your
for me, team of the day, Red Bull.
Yeah.
Apart from Checo messing up, I think we got the maximum points that we could that weekend in the conditions that we had. Because Checo started the race P15 on Sunday.
Yeah.
P2 will have been a stretch. Well, if maybe Charles messed up, then maybe Checo would have gotten the P2. But P3, really good. Nice to see Checo on the podium. I hope he has his mojo back. I think.
You think he has his mojo back? Checo let me down, by the way. I was expecting Checo to challenge Max for the title, but come on, Checo. You did let me down.
Bro, I'm going to hold you and some other 2 people accountable for the mess that Checo has been in for the past like 3 or 4 races.
For the past 5 races. He hasn't been into Q3 for the past 5 races.
But I hope he's back, man. Because we really need him at Silverstone. We need a Red Bull 1-2 at Silverstone.
Now, Red Bull Ring.
You see that elusive Silverstone?
Red Bull Ring, Max, King of the Ring. Yeah?
Yeah.
Silverstone. We all know who's the king of Silverstone, yeah?
Lewis Hamilton. So it'd be really interesting to see what Hamilton will do at Silverstone, because we all know Hamilton turns up at Silverstone. I don't know about turning up.
He always turns up at Silverstone.
He didn't turn up last year.
That's where he got his first serious points last year. It was Silverstone. That's where he got his first serious points last year.
But it's because Checo and Carlos and I don't know.
Was it? No, he didn't get a podium. I know he didn't get a podium.
And also Max alikanyaga kitu. And his race was messed up. But this weekend, Silverstone,
I don't think Max will win it. It's been a while before we've seen a driver win 6 races in a row.
Bro, Silverstone has been that one elusive.
You guys are trying to conquer it. It's
Max. Bro, you remember the religious 25 seconds that we're talking about?
Yeah.
You were to get that religious 25 seconds at the Austrian GP. Just at Max was like, hey, I want to go for the fastest.
Bro, I remember him battling Leclerc. Was it, I think, lap 20? He was on hards and Leclerc was on mediums, and it was just like, they had the first encounter, and Leclerc, defended it well. Then the second one, Max was just like gone. Then 3 laps later, I'm seeing like he's 9 seconds ahead, and I'm like, bro.
Yeah, brother.
How is he 9 seconds ahead?
Yeah, that's Max and the RB19 for you.
Yeah.
So Silverstone expect the same thing.
Okay.
Religious 25 seconds.
So
and a 1-2.
You've given us your driver and team of the day. I've given you my driver and team of the day.
Yeah.
Now you're giving us expectations of Silverstone.
Wait, I'll be doing melons of the day. I have one. I have one that I just have.
You have to do melon of the day. Who's your melon of the day?
Hey, Haas.
Hulkenberg.
Hulkenberg and K-Mag, man. Hulkenberg DNF.
But what was it with the FIA giving Hulkenberg a black and white flag after he was already out of the track, and he'd been out for 5-10 seconds?
Wait, what?
Yeah. I
didn't catch that.
Okay, so Hulkenberg crashed, and he was out. So
did he crash or did he? Hulkenberg had a PU power unit.
Yeah, he actually at the side of the truck. Yeah. Then a lap gone, like a lap later. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that's 1 minute later. The FIA now are giving him a black and white flag.
Hey bro, the FIA overwhelmed, man. The number of track limit infringements that were coming in.
That's basically in football terms, yeah? You've already committed your foul. The game has gone on. Then the ref is coming back. Hey. Foul.
Yellow, man.
Yeah, the foul. That's basically what happened. And I was like, what's up with that? So the black and white flag, you want to explain to the viewers? Or should I...
leave that for the Know Your F1.
Oh, we leave that for the Know Your F1 segment, yeah. So,
Haas, they had a stinker over this. No, and it wasn't just on Sunday.
We look like a bunch of fucking wankers.
Yeah, as in, it's crazy to see Haas resetting to default, going back to default.
I know Gene is mad.
Yeah, because, they've been really good. Come quali. Also on at least on sprint weekends. At least we've seen Hulkenberg somewhere. Yeah. Last year we also saw this guy K-Mag.
Yeah.
Fighting. But hey man, the past 3 races, K-Mag has been fighting with De Vries at P18 and P19.
Bro, that P18 is very valuable, bro.
But
that P18 is very valuable, bro. Come on, man.
A memorable moment for me at this GP. De Vries was...
Oh, wow, yeah.
De Vries and K-Mag were at it again. De Vries is like, hey, man, what's up with K-Mag? He's still salty.
Hey, bro, you say humility. You said humility.
No,
come on, be humble.
That was hilarious.
Be humble. You said humility.
There's someone who suggested that these two, someone needs to set up a boxing ring. We need to have De Vries and
they should have a go at it, yeah?
Yeah.
They should have a go at it.
Because, bro, they were at it again at the Austrian GP. De Vries is pushing K-Mag off.
It's one of those. Track. It's one of those no one wants to yield situations.
Yeah.
I'm like, no way, this guy. I'm not him. I'm not yielding to him. I'd rather die before I yield to him.
Yeah.
So it's one of those. And
stink of a race for Haas. What about you, man?
Man, my melon of the day has to be the guy who evaded the penalties during the race.
Who that?
Esteban Ocon. Esteban
my
Ocon
God.
was driving his car beyond the racing line limits, the track limits, that is. And he was getting away with it. He thought he wouldn't get caught, yeah? You think you're the Pink Panther or something. Listen, blood, you got caught. Esteban Ocon, you got caught. And you got 30 seconds to serve for it. And he was out of the podium places. And not the podium places, the points.
Bro, if there was a championship for number of penalties given, Ocon definitely would be leading that. Remember the first race at Bahrain?
Bruh, Bahrain, come on. I'm like, bro. Like, listen. But hey, that's Ocon for you. That's Ocon for you. But he did get his act together for the next few races. He did get his act together. He did.
Plus the penalties are Bahrain.
I mean, Bahrain, he and Hulkenberg actually, and they were the same two guys. At Austria, he and Hulkenberg again.
Yeah.
And interesting. So moja kwa moja hadi Silverstone.
Ooh, yeah.
What to expect?
The home race for Mercedes,
Yeah.
McLaren. Mm-hmm. And now Aston Martin actually they're building their new facility just next to Silverstone. So I'm also counting it as an Aston Martin home race.
So if they build a facility right next to Silverstone, does that make Silverstone their home ground?
Yeah. It's just next. Just somewhere there.
Well,
yep.
We'll see what happens.
Yep. And it's that elusive.
You reckon Max will actually get the job done?
Yes.
Okay. We'll see. Personally, I expect another strong showing from the team from Maranello. Yeah? I expect another strong showing from the team from Maranello.
But what's strong? As in, have you guys been reduced to
strong showing means a double podium. No, strong showing means a double podium. Because listen,
that's
Max,
bold. Double podium.
It's not bold. We actually had it at the grasp of our hands this weekend. And that was a very fast track. A good track to measure your strengths.
But bro, it was just because Checo.
Nah, I don't care because of Checo.
Okay,
What. So listen, I'm expecting a strong showing at Silverstone.
That's bold.
And I reckon we'll actually approach it the same way we've approached the last two races with the undercut strategy.
Yep.
Like they also used the undercut strategy in Austria with the virtual safety car thing, and it actually worked. So it's been a long time.
At Canada, I think you guys used the overcut because you didn't pit when everyone else was pitting.
Yeah.
You decided to go deep.
Yeah.
But hey.
So like it feels good saying the strategy worked.
Ferrari strategy-wise, you guys are back on form.
Yeah, we're back on track.
Yeah.
And I expect like a strong showing. If Checo isn't at the podium, it's a 2-3. It's a 2-3.
Wait, but you just said Mr. Sir Lewis Hamilton. Usually he's on something else, something different.
Nah,
At his home race.
Strong showing P7, strong, solid. You know? Strong 6 points or 5 points with the fastest lap and thing. You know?
Yeah,
that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
And
that's strong enough.
P7, 7 titles, you know?
Yeah. Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's it from us. Do you have any add-ons?
No. Congratulations to Ferrari for their 800th
podium. Yeah. Do you know how many Red Bull have?
Yeah.
Some like 150?
No.
120?
240 something.
Oh, you guys got to 200?
Yeah.
When was that?
No, we're not talking about GP wins. We're talking about podiums.
Yeah.
200
you guys got to 200 when?
I don't know when.
Oh, damn.
A few years back. And
we got 200 podium finishes like in when was it?
God
19 like 70 something or something.
I didn't see that coming.
Yeah. So I'm like, you guys have 200. Oh damn, that's cool.
I didn't see that coming.
Listen, that's cool. Hey bro, I'm going to have to clap for you, yeah? That's cool. Yeah. Yeah. Christian Horner was still at school at the time, you know?
Bro.
So anyway, listen, I'm just messing with you.
We are on our way there, man.
Yeah, I mean that was memorabilia for
Yep.
Ferrari at Austria. And
Ferrari is that.
that's chill. And congratulations to you too
for
nailing your introduction.
Oh,
You really had mediocre introductions.
God
But now
damn it.
now you're cool.
I still have another update that I'm going to bring at
Now he's
Silverstone.
bringing an update. Yeah. So that's it from us. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Catch you on the next one. Like, share, subscribe, follow us everywhere. We're on Twitter. And if you want to have more of these conversations, unrestricted conversations, by the way, follow the Pitboard on Twitter. And on Thursday, every Thursday, we do have spaces, yeah? I'd be hosting, he's hosting, Omushiri is hosting.
Mr. No Cap.
Yeah, Mr. No Cap. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to.
Hey, he got cancelled, man.
Yeah, he got cancelled. So, so, you know. Anyway, catch you on the next one, guys.
Yep. Peace.
Peace.